Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem El Shai, Ba'ashem Abakar Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of great millstone who rule well. And shalom to the hopeful elect. This is Payah of the Jim Islamic Captain. This is news and prophecy and news. I got an article here from the protocol.com, and the title reads, Washington is rushing to regulate crypto. It's a mess. Alright? And this is what we seen coming. Alright? Hey, through the spirit, man. All roads lead to the chip, man. Okay, so even the question I've always posed to people about Bitcoin is who made it, all right? Just for the whole longevity of it all right? That there'll be an end in sight, but you can obviously jump on a bandwagon, get up and get out kind of thing, pump and dump, and that's the best way to deal with it, all right? But now, because of things that have happened as of late, the article's going to go into it. It's calling for regulation. And this is something I always thought that would come, all right? Speaking as a man, all right? So I'm going to get into this video, and Lord willing, it'll be edifying, all right? The SEC, CFTC, IRS, FinCEN, and Congress all want a piece of crypto oversight. The confusion has some in the industry calling for clearer regulations, all right? The wild swings in crypto prices this year have enthralled and disheartened investors, alarm Wall Street, and focused the attention of regulators and lawmakers who already had cryptocurrency in their sights. Now, it's good to keep in mind what happened with GameStop, all right? After Robinhood did their little, the Reddit thread that got all the people on side so they could make a great means of money, and it basically stirred up the not the Fortune 500, the thingy fund. What's that shit called? It's something fund, but basically the people that basically really hold the pulling power in terms of the trade the stock market, the trade market, all that type of stuff dealing with stocks. They basically, called for regulation upon Robinhood, and the CEO basically fell in line and said, yep, I'm going to do it all. All right, that shows you that influence, outside of their influence, is something that needs to be tamed, all right? And crypto ain't exempt from that. With shares of Coinbase, a prize of Silicon Valley investors who place early bets on cryptocurrency markets, swinging along with the price of Bitcoin, tech is worried too. Yeah, and this is I've said this before in the previous video. Hey, in the stock market, they call, so-called blacks, all right? When you get into the market, they call you dumb money. And I'm talking as a multitude, all right? Not like 50, or in this case, I'm going to pinpoint with Coinbase, Nazir Benoludora, all right? When he came out and said he's, the crypto Scarface, and he made 100 M's off of Coinbase, that was a sign of the end, man, because he introduced it. Not so much introduced it, but he basically established it in the minds of the people on a on a commercial basis, all right? So once is by the time if you know anything about investing, I know one key thing, I'm not saying it like I'm a specialist, but by the time you hear about something, is on like this type of stage, it's too late to make money off it, all right? Unless you know something that no one knows about, because as I said, they made money by early betting before the boom of everything. The soundness and stability of cryptocurrencies has gone from a fascination of early enthusiastic adopters to a mainstream concern, all right? One particular worry is the ability of vague tweets from a single person. Yeah, this is the big thing, and I knew this would lead to this. Speaking as a man, Tesla CEO Elon Musk, who has mixed his personal adore for cryptocurrencies with electric vehicle companies' business to send crypto prices gyrating, all right? He had them percolating and twerking like Cardi B, all right, in a music video. And I was just at his word. Okay, he's beckoning cool. And the fact that he tied it to his business already, that established shady dealings, all right? Because with his pool with Dogecoin as well as Bitcoin, that allowed him to, capitalize on it in a big way. And he basically dumped it by saying it was done, all right? Saying his business don't deal with it. And really, they might bring him into court or do something with him, but he more or less dusted his hands of it and shaked his feet off of cryptocurrency, all right, in terms of Bitcoin. Washington once seemed befuddled by cryptocurrency handing out confusing rulings, but the SEC is now chaired by Gary Gensler, who taught a course on blockchain at MIT. So this is someone that's come in and he's up on things, all right? He knows about the blockchain, all right? And more so, they're gonna offer they it sounds like they're gonna offer regulation, all right. But let's not forget that over here I'm sure I did a video on it a couple of days ago. The UK is looking to establish the pound in the crypto world, all right, or should I say in the digital world, all right. You basically utilizing the blockchain. So the fact that this guy's been introduced, an MIT graduate, mind you, shows you that that's where they're looking at, all right. He made it clear at a recent, and I'm saying all of this. This ain't me trying to sound smart. Oh, I know so much. I'm saying it because it's the signs of the time. All right, all roads lead to the chip. That's what it means. All right, get right. That's why I'm saying it. All right. If he that has eyes to hear, eyes to see, let him see. He that has ears to hear, let him hear. So it says he made it clear at a recent House committee hearing that the crypto industry could come under greater regulation. If one trades Bitcoin in America today, there's no investor protection regime, he said. And that's the main guys I always thought they'll come under, because it's like, who made this? No one knows. All right? Who's regulating it? No one knows. Anything can happen. It's very dangerous, all right? And now, with the advent of everyone buying into it, it calls for regulation, all right? Because their whole guise is going to be that people need to be protected. We need to protect the funds. Plus, as we read on, it then has an effect on the banking industry as well. The early crypto scene was dominated by libertarian types seeking to evade or defeat regulation. All right, but now a substantial number of players of the crypto industry have been seeking more regular. Damn, boy, that stutter. Regulatory clarity. There are a number of areas where the industry interacts with regulators, from banking to securities to taxes. All right. So look at these. This is saying there's no regulation between the banking and security and the taxes of crypto, and that's saying that they need to introduce this. All right. They need to, so that screams for what? The CB, all right, DC, central bank digital currency, all right. And they may insist. I've always said this, in my personal opinion, all right, that they may offer a scheme where they'll incentivize trading your Bitcoin or your Ripple or your Ethereum into the CBDC as a means of retaining your wealth. Kind of like how they trade in here over the UK when money goes out of legal tender. The earliest memory I have is the 50p coins. When the 50p's went out of circulation, you had an old 50p. You basically couldn't use it. You had to go to the bank and they'll give you a new one and then they'll take it back. And that's the same thing they could introduce with the crypto, all right? So it says from banking to security and taxes. That's part of the problem. Tokens that act like securities could fall under the Securities of Exchange Commission Exchange Commission. All right. The Commodity Futures Trading Commission is eager to keep its oversight of currency markets, and the Internal Revenue Service wants to make sure transactions that result in gains are properly taxed. All right. So listen, this is this man's world, All right. And you may think that, you buy into crypto, you getting... No, you ain't, man. All right, and this ain't for I'm not speaking to brothers that are doing their thing. I'm just speaking in general, in the sense of there's some people they think they're getting one up on Esau. Um, but the joke is, this is what Yahushua said. Uh, uh, uh. So this is the book of Matthew 22:17. Tell us therefore, what thinkest thou? Is it lawful to give tribute unto Caesar or not? But Yahushua perceived their wickedness and said, Why tempt ye me, ye hypocrites? Show me the tribute money. And they brought unto him a penny. And he saith unto them, Whose is the image, this image and superscription? They say unto him, Caesar's. Then saith he unto them, Render therefore unto Caesar the things which are Caesar's, and unto the Most High the things that are the Most High. So yeah, man, this is Esau's monetary system. So anything that holds any form of value in this world, he's going to regulate it, all right? And he wants his tax, and that's what he's going to get. So it says, while it's unclear if out or when Congress will pass legislation on the crypto industry, these agencies could have a major impact on how the industry operates. All right. Yet key agencies still lack permanent heads, and future appointments could shift regulatory, all right, strategies considerably. Here's a rundown of the regulatory efforts stand. All right. Crypto exchanges. I don't want to read through all of this, but really, if you can read it, man, just Google the title. But basically, it's more or less like when you trade the money, it's not regulated, and the quality, it's actually a good part worth reading, if I'll be honest, because it basically speaks as to why they need the regulation, all right. But the point being is that this is something. Let's not be simple and act like this man is not wiser than Daniel. All right, this is a seed that he planted. This man spoke about 3 world wars back in the 1800s. All right, and the Third World War ain't even happened yet, but we're on the precipice of it. Well, it's really started already. All right, I was even talking to a Turkish guy at the dry cleaners. All right. Went there to do something totally different, and through the spirit I got led there to have that conversation. All right, people are talking, people can see what's going on, they're more than aware. All right, and they know that this man has got plans. All right, and you can see the agenda afar off, but as far as if people will say anything, that's a whole different kettle of fish, basically. So this is book of Psalm 64. And I'm going to start from 2. Hide me from the secret council of the wicked, all right? The Illuminati, all right? They have a secret council and they're wicked, all right? Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. If not, where and who is he, all right? That's why, and to define that, you go to Malachi, the 1st chapter, and it tells you that Esau, wherever the Most High hated Esau, and wherever he establishes borders, is the borders of wickedness. So that lets you know he's the wicked. And he has that secret council that's doing all of these things. That's why even like today I was reading an article, watching a video talking about the chemicals, all right? And that's another way of Esau utilizing his sword, all right? Because he has chemicals that your body never breaks down, that your whole life, they just accumulate and kill you, all right? From the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. All right, and that's what they're doing. They're shooting at us. They just passed legislation that if anyone does any hate crimes, I ain't gone into the ins and outs of it, but any hate crimes against Moab and Ammon, all right, basically that's your ass, all right. And why do they want to do that? Because if you see the videos that they've shown, it's Jake beating on Moab and Ammon, all right? And I don't know if they're, through and through the spirit, but, aesthetically as what it stands, it is what it is. But that shows you that really it's to the reason why they're so emboldened to come against to fight for Marv and Ammon is because really it's gonna oppress Jake, alright, who are doing these things. Or Jake, not Jake who are doing this, Jake as a whole, alright? It paints that us all with that same brush, alright? So that's them shooting their arrows in silence and their bitter words. Framing mischief through a loss. Is that Psalms 94? Yep, Psalms 94 and 20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with them which frameth mischief by law? Alright? Yeah, it is, alright? Because this throne that Esau has is a throne of iniquity. And that iniquity is gonna come upon him, alright, as it tells you in the book of Joel. But it says frameth mischief by law, alright? So he's these laws that he passed is really mischievous, alright? And he has a hidden agenda behind him. So reading on, it says verse 5, they encourage themselves in an evil mouth, the commune of laying snares privily, they say, who shall see them? Right? And that's how they feel. Even if people do see them, it's like, what are you going to say? You ain't going to say nothing to me. They search our iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them is, and the heart is deep. But the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow, suddenly shall they be wounded. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves, and they shall flee, and that all that see them shall flee away, and all men shall fear and shall declare the work of the Most High, for they shall widely consider his doing. Right? But point being with this, man, we see where we're going, man. They're gonna regulate it and bring in the CBDC. Right, which is ultimately going to lead to the ubiquitous technology of merging, all RFID, NFC technology to basically, do their thing, establish the mark. So with that, I pray you're edified. To the next one, I say shalom, shalom, shalom.